retro ghetto.
So sitting here watching the Champions League final, drinking tea, minding my own business, and I got that thought that a lot of collectors get on a Saturday night, and I started thinking, there's a car boot sale tomorrow, and then you start thinking to yourself, tomorrow could be the day that I find gold, tomorrow could be the day that it's worth me getting out of my bed at the crack of dawn on a Sunday morning for. And I started thinking, it's been about 6 weeks since I last went, and to be fair to car boot sales, didn't give them all the necessary opportunities to win me around, right? Because it was very early in the car boot sale season, the weather was terrible, and some of my local car boots, which would be my preferred ones to go and hunt at, they hadn't even opened yet. But if I go tomorrow, I'm giving car boots every opportunity to turn me back into a believer. The weather couldn't be better. I'm going to be going with little man, so I've got 2 pairs of eyes looking out, right, which has got to be better than 1. It's mid-season, I'm going to get up at the crack of dawn, so I'm going to give car boots every single opportunity, one last time this year, to win me back around, convert me from a naysayer to a believer. I'll see you at stupid o'clock in the morning. Let's go.
What you know about retro ghetto? Collecting and playing retro. Street Fighter on the Nintendo. I'm a veteran at this, not a pro. Lock into the retro ghetto. Come on, have a look around in the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples Settle. Lock into the retro ghetto.
I don't play games with my son PlayStation. Man, I old school like an Atari gamer. Tiger, hit man with the Tiger Flamer. This shit reality, not like Sega. Dreamcast, Mega Drive, my Master System. N64 and Super Nintendo, we missed them. And if man wanna challenge on Tekken, I'll twist them. Cause I'm
Okay, so it's pretty much bang on 6:30, and there's probably been people here since about 5, but I draw the line at getting out of bed earlier than 5 o'clock. Hello.
Hello.
So I think getting anywhere for 6:30 is pretty good with a 5-year-old in tow. So yeah, it looks like a decent turnout. It's a lovely day. Let's see what we can find. Okay, so that's a good sign. I am actually seeing games that are worth picking up, which means they've not been too heavily picked over before I've got here. Just bought a couple of games. Yeah, man. I've already done a couple of rows, so that's a positive sign. Bag. Crazy. You have to show Mummy, won't you? Well, at least you're happy. Thanks, Mummy. What'd you say, Ray? Good boy. How much are your games, mate?
PS2 and Xbox 360 games were £2 a piece.
£2 each?
£2 a piece, yeah.
Okay.
PS2 games were £2 a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, £2.
That's what I meant, yeah. So
that's fair enough.
£10 for the 2, 3, 7 games.
Yeah, if you're happy with that, yeah?
Yeah, mate, yes, that, mate. Wow, it's fair to say that that car boot has made me a believer. I have got a literal bag full of video games, full. It's been a long time since I've been to a car boot sale like that. It almost felt like I'm the only person there buying games. Every row I went on, there was games just sat there, front and centre, that were decent titles, were very cheap, whether you wanted to add them to your collection or make money at CEX. There was just an abundance of them on every road. I kind of thought to myself that was in that time now where we're in a time and space now where there's loads of people at car boots and video games, right? And I kind of always expect to be competing with several other people, but today it would seem like I had my pick, and let me tell you, it was very fruitful. Let's get back to the 3.0 and let's go through all these games that I bought. As you can see, I'm back in the 3.0 and boy did I need that. I'm sitting here with a very different feeling than I had the last time I came back from a car boot sale. There were so many games, as you guys have seen from the footage. And I think I said towards the end of the car boot there that it felt like I was the only person looking for video games at what was a busy car boot in the height of car boot season on a beautiful sunny day, which I didn't think happened anymore. So let's get into it. There's a lot of games here to get through. I've tried to group them in sort of piles as to which I bought them from the stores, because often these were bundled together, so I can give you like a bundle price for each one. And then at the end we're going to go through exactly how much I paid, how much CEX trade value there is, and how much CEX actually sell these for, i.e. how much value there is on the high street for all of these games that are sat in front of me, of which there's a lot. So let's get straight into it. So one of the first stores that I saw that was selling video games, they had a couple of Xbox One games.
First one was Fallout 76. Now I know this game didn't get much good press, right? And I was actually shocked to see how little value was in this, which is probably very indicative as to how poor this game was received. But I picked up this, and I also picked up Worms Battlegrounds. I bought both these games for £3. I had a quick look and I saw that CEX would give £3 trade-in for Worms alone, so I knew it wouldn't be too bad of a deal in doing so, and yeah, it was a nice way to start the boot sale. Okay, so the next game on the pile is Midnight Club Los Angeles. This is actually the last game that I bought at the boot fair. It just so happened to be the next one on the pile. I picked this up for just £1.50. I didn't need to look. I knew there would be a bit of value in this. CEX are actually selling this for £6, and I already own this, so that's just going to be going nicely into the CEX voucher fund. And these next two came from a chap that was actually a collector, but he was selling off some of his collection. Was having a good chat. He was saying that he wants to sort of build his own little man cave, and that his missus was kind of looking from afar. She looked less impressed than he was. But yeah, he had a couple of games and he gave me a really good price for them. And he said something to me very interesting, something that actually another seller said to me as well, which was that nobody else is really taking any interest, therefore they were happy to do the deal. Yes, it was very early in the morning, and I'm sure there would have been more people down the line that would be interested in video games, but it's still a mystery to me as to why I was seemingly the only person at this large car boot sale that was buying video games. But anyway, everybody else's loss is my gain, I guess. First one that caught my eye, of course, in the sleeve cover is the classic The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is one of them games I've tried so many times to get into. I think I've tried 3 times, and when I say I tried, I'm talking like put in 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Really give it a go. I understand that some people would say you probably have to put in 10, 20 hours, but I just don't have 10 or 20 hours in me if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. I do think one day I'll try again. It's one of them games that I'd probably like to be locked in a room with, right? And just have to enjoy it. And I'm sure there is a fantastic game in here based on how much everybody loves it. But I picked up that and Lord of the Rings The Return of the King, which is one of the Lord of the Rings games I don't actually own on the PlayStation 2. He did me a fantastic deal. I got both of these games for £3, and CEX actually sell the combined duo for £11. So yeah, that was a good value right there. Okay, so these next two came from what looked like a reseller, so certainly wasn't expecting like 99p games, right? But of all the games that I picked up today, this is one that I've been actively pursuing because I want to play it. A lot of people have told me in the comment section, and if you watch the vlogs, you'll know this is something that I've been wanting to pick up for some time, and that is Mad Max. Just one of them games, as I say, that apparently is criminally underrated. Loads of people have recommended this one to me. I was able to put this together with Dead Rising 4, and actually got both of these games for £4, and I think that's a bit of a steal, to be honest. As I say, CEX are selling these combined for £10. It feels even better when it's one that you actively want to add to your collection and one that you actually want to sit down and play. Right, okay, this next bundle was kind of crazy. This guy was almost giving these games away. I think he was saying like 3 for £1 or take them all for 15. There was a lot of filler, and I didn't want to be left with all this filler, right? I've got too many games in this room as it is, to be honest. I didn't need more filler. So I thought, right, let me just try and find a few games. I originally pieced together 3 for £1. Then I pieced together 6, which would be £2. And then I thought, you know what, I might as well add 7. He's going to give it me for the £2, right? He's giving them away. So I picked up 7 games for £2. I'm going to fly through them real quickly. That is Soul Calibur 4, Just Cause, Gear of War Judgment, 24 the game, LA Rush, Borderlands the pre-sequel, and probably the only game that's got a little bit of trade credit that was actually worth picking up, 007 Quantum of Solace. But like I say, 7 games for £2, most of them will be going in the collection. I ain't gonna complain. And then in true YouTuber fashion, I've decided to save the best till last. This guy had some fantastic games sat there. Really nice titles, ones that clearly have value if you're a collector. And this is when I knew that there wasn't any other video game collectors at this boot sale, because this was one of the last rows that I got to. I'd been there probably the best part of an hour before I saw these games. They were right on show, they weren't hidden away. And yeah, there's some really good stuff in here. I think he actually wanted £2 a game, but he ended up selling me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games for £10. And as you're about to see, there's some great value in here. Just a couple of ones, firstly, that I didn't already own that I picked up that don't have any real value. Flat Out Ultimate Carnage. I've been saying for a while now I am sort of on a quest to get all the sort of arcade races for the Xbox 360 so I can play them on my 360 kiosk. Then we've got SmackDown Just Bring It. And then an absolute staple of any charity shop hunters out there, I must pick this game up between 5 and 10 times a year. I always see it. I know there's £3 trading on it. People are always giving it away. Guitar Hero 3, crucially on the Xbox 360, CX will give you £3 trading credit for the 360 version. So yeah, I mean, I knew straight away by picking that one up that I was paying for a third almost of these games, right? So yeah, Guitar Hero 3, Legends of Rock, don't sleep on that if you see it in your local charity shops. And then I'm absolutely delighted with this next trilogy. I got the whole trilogy of games, and they weren't all together either. It was kind of like I found one, and then I found another one, and then I was like, wait, they're all here. So I picked up all 3 of the Fear games. So we've got Fear, Fear 2, and you guessed it, Fear 3. Now, 2 doesn't have much value from what I remember. I think the most expensive one is the first one. And crucially for me, I already own the first one, so that worked out well. I think CX charged £8 for this. They're giving £5 trade-in, so obviously I'll compare the condition and get rid of the one which is obviously in the worst condition. But yeah, it just worked out well for me that the one that I already own is the one that retains the most value. But really happy to get the whole trilogy of games for what should have been £2 each, but in actual fact cost me considerably less than that.
Do you know the true meaning of fear?
Okay, and as I say, you have to save the best till last, right? So the 7th game that I picked up from that store, the game that was sat there, front and centre, right smack bang for everybody to see, that had been sat there for an hour with everybody walking past it, was Alice Madness Returns. Alice Madness Returns is known as a bit of a hidden gem, right? But at this point in time, I don't really think it's all that hidden. CX is selling this for £15, they're giving £10 trade-in. This is a great game to grab it if you can find it. The beauty for me, once again, is I already own this game, so for me, that's an easy £10 CX trade-in right there. Just another quick note to mention, this game never actually came with a manual. All it comes with is one of these kind of things. So don't ever be put off if you see this game and it doesn't have a manual, because to my knowledge, it never actually came with a proper official colour manual anyway. But yeah, what a great find, right? So there we go. I told you I had a bag full, 21 video games. I spent £25 minus the £1 it cost me to get in, £24 to buy this 21 games. These 21 games at CEX would trade in for a CX voucher of £46.80. And CX actually sell these games, so if you were to walk in and buy them all in person, for £87. Yeah, so that's a decent bit of value, right? Let me just put them down. And shout out to RG Jr. Even with my £87 worth of games, I still think he got the deal of the day. He got a whole bag full of Pokemon figures for just £1, so he left delighted as well. And as I say, faith in car boot sales has definitely been restored, but I think it's a dangerous game, right, car boot sales. I equate it to going out on the town with your friends in your mid-30s. You're going to go out a couple of times, you're going to regret it, you're going to come home and think what a waste of time, effort and money that was. But every now and again there'll be that one night which is fantastic and you'll live long in the memory, and it's just enough to give you that glimmer of hope that next time might be as good, even though in reality it probably won't be. And that's kind of how I'm sort of evaluating car boot sales in my mind now. They seem to do just enough to keep pulling me back in.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
But yeah, on this occasion, it was definitely worth getting out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was worth walking around a hot field, battling against hay fever to come back with not only the 21 games, but with a sense of accomplishment as opposed to a sense of disappointment, which I so often get when I come back from a car boot sale. I want to know a couple of things in the comment section. You regular booters have got to help me out here. I never for 1 second thought that in 2023 I could go to a car boot sale, and I'm not talking about 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm talking like 6:30 till probably 7:30, 8 o'clock I was there, and seemingly be the only person that's buying video games. Stores have got them out on display, good titles, and people are walking past them. Does that happen often to you guys, or is this an anomaly? Because that's certainly how it feels to me. As always, thank you very much for watching. Play your games, keep it retro. I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care.
You're watching the Retro Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto!
Yeah.